Sun's glowing, the city's alive. Clock strikes 12, we're ready to dive down the street where the neon hums. Our little escape, the workday succumbs. Tables wait, the bar's got that swing. Glasses clink, hear the ice cubes sing. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Va salute! It is the weekend. Welcome to it. Why do I say it's the weekend when the day isn't over yet? Because we figure on Fridays at lunchtime, the weekend pretty much starts at lunchtime. You're just kind of watching the clock until the end of the day anyway. So it really is the weekend. But we'll get to the weekend and all of that after I greet all of you shuffling in here who decided to have liquid lunch with me today. Starting with Lynn Green, who says, "Woot! YouTube might not erase me today." No, they did not erase you. Well, if they did, it's on the YouTube side. I had the stream open, all morning because I was working on some things. And so it's not going to pull it out of my platform. So I'm going to see it either way. I do still see it in YouTube, but again, I've had the YouTube stream open all morning. Go figure. Don't know how YouTube works. Whatever. Happy Friday, Liquid Lunchers. Sounds like Troy will be getting spicy. Have a great show, Troy. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Don't want to bury the lead too much. if you check out the description below, as Lynn and Big Al obviously both have done, you'll know what I'm sipping on. And Lynn Green says, drink reminds me of Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, Mr. I'm Cuban American and I love America. So the superb owl won't have me for the halftime show, even in Miami. Pitbull. Okay, fair enough. We'll get to the inspiration for the drink in just a moment, but let me say thank you so much, Nate. I've gotten every single email you've sent me. I assume, I don't think I've missed any. No attachments on any of them. You might have to use something like Dropbox or something to send me what it is you're trying to send me. Don't know. Like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member. And if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not gift a membership instead and make our family grow? Yes, help us regrow our family at least back to the 100 members we had when we closed out 2025. That would be huge. Thank you so much. And of course, the love of my life is here in the chat. Thank you so much, my dear. She also says, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, become a member, gift a membership, do all the things, please. And then everyone starts saying hi to each other, which again, I love to see. Sorry, man, but I am effing furious because I don't know why, but every time I try to send an attachment on my email, video or photo, it goes straight to draft. Then when I go to draft and try to send it, it fails every time. I'm forgetting because I don't have it open in front of me right now. Do you have a YouTube email? Is that what you're using? Because that might have something to do with it. I don't know. But like I said, it might very well be that you might have to, instead of sending it as a physical attachment, send it as a link to a Dropbox shared drive kind of a thing. I've had that struggle myself as well. Merpo! The battle on Rurapente is over for now. Walking the battlefield, drinking blood wine, and singing songs of the honored dead gone to Stovokor. And the, Feklar bait that have gone to Grathor as well. Because some of the people that your company let go were not necessarily the most honorable and worth keeping around. Hail all and smash the like button and enjoy the show, says Jonathan Conroy. Yes, please do those things. And Wilkie's Movies and Music, Corey, who we will go hang out with immediately after this stream. If you stay right where you are, let me once again adjust my camera. I realize, it's a little bit high. Aged Boomer pops in to say howdy. Howdy. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see. And also, Mark also says, like, share, subscribe, become a member, do those clicky things now. Da! Exactly. Yes, I know you're using your regular email. I can't remember what your email is. Is it a Yahoo email account or is it a Google email account? Or I don't remember. Wow, saying hi to all the chat. And I think we are now caught up. All right, that's wonderful. So, what am I sipping on? You probably have seen the description below. Gmail. Okay. I would have expected that from Yahoo. I don't expect that from Gmail, but Gmail probably wants you to use their Google Drive instead of making an actual attachment. All the emails are starting to do that, where they want you to use a shared drive rather than an attachment. I think that is the deal. Well, to quote from The Godfather, all my house debts have been settled. My enemies now reside in Grithor. Yeah, well, I think you're paraphrasing The Godfather, unless you're referencing The Godfather in the original Klingon. But what am I sipping on? You've seen it in the video description, but well, to put it simply,
Fireball.
Fireball.
That's great. So you take a tennis ball, a bowl, and lighter.
Fireball.
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 Guys, hey, how about we settle this over a friendly game of fireball?
Fireball.
Ultimate fireball.
yes, going for a little bit of the spicy today. You guys might know, especially if you were watching last week, the goal was a drink last week called the Blue Dragon, which I ended up making without the dragon part. I ended up making a Blue Hawaiian because I did not have cinnamon syrup, which I'd been trying to get for over a year. And I didn't get it, right? So I freaking just, screw it. I just ordered it myself on Amazon. Boom, got it. Delivered within days, but obviously I had ordered it the day I actually wanted it. So it wasn't like they were going to deliver it the same day. But by Monday, I had it. And so now I got this nice big bottle of cinnamon syrup. So I am going to go ahead and make a Blue Dragon 4-netter tonight. Basically, it's the same recipe I used last week for the Blue Hawaiian, just with a bit of cinnamon syrup. Give it a little bit of spice. That's the dragon's breath, right? But I'm going all in on the cinnamon tonight. This may not be an original recipe. I did not. It's basically a take on a cinnamon whiskey sour, but obviously with the added slight sweetness of the cinnamon syrup. So it's like I'm doubling up on the cinnamon. So it's going to have a spicy kick, not just a boozy kick. And although right now my sip does not have any ice in it. See, can't hear any rattling. But what I might do is I might freeze little orbs of the cinnamon syrup and drop those into the drink and use those as my ice cubes. So it gets more cinnamony as I go. More cinnamony and more sweet as I drink the drink. But yeah, if you look at the recipe, it's 2 ounces of Fireball cinnamon whiskey. I also have Hellboy that I could also use, but I got to be honest, I do kind of prefer Fireball. An ounce of fresh lemon juice. About an ounce of cinnamon syrup, to taste. Just fill a cocktail shaker with ice, add the Fireball, fresh lemon juice, and cinnamon syrup. Shake vigorously for 10 to 15 seconds until well chilled. Strain into a rocks glass filled with fresh ice. Or serve up in a chilled coupe for a fancier vibe. Garnish with a cinnamon stick or lemon wheel. Optional. You know how I am with garnishes. I don't really need them unless they're part of the drink. Part of like an olive, eating an olive. That's part of it. I suppose if it's a tropical drink and it's got a piece of fruit on the side, fine. But I'm not ordering a fruit salad. I'm ordering a drink, right? What's that line that Martini says? We serve hard drinks for people who want to get drunk fast, So that's kind of kind of where I am with those kinds of things. But, to each his own. Would putting a cinnamon stick into this to use as your swizzle bring something to it? Maybe. I will do that if I decide I need a swizzle because I've got the melting syrup in there. Maybe. We'll see. But let's get to the presentation, what I wanted to bring to you all today. So obviously, if this is a drink that's, we've talked about whiskey sours before. I didn't see any reason to go into a history of a variation, a cinnamon sour. So what is the talk for today? Well, glad you asked, Strawman McGee. Where is my shared screen? Did I lose it? There it is. I'm going to talk about cinnamon itself. This is, a little bit of a history lesson. We do that here on Fridays. But this time it's not the history of a drink. It's a history of an ingredient. And not just for alcoholic drinks, but of course, pastries and candies and all sorts of things. It's even been used in savory dishes like meats as a rub. Anyone remember Fireball candy? I do not, but I like the sound of it. I mean, personally, I would love, what I used to love was cinnamon Jolly Ranchers. Now it's just, I can't Jolly Rancher anymore. It's the arsenic I don't care for. Been forever since I've had a Fireball. You ever have Aftershock or Goldschlager? Sorry if already mentioned. I don't think I know Aftershock, but Goldschlager. Oh, yes. And we can blame Netter for that one. Netter introduced me to the Goldschlager shot. I loved that stuff. A local distillery made a cinnamon whiskey and named it after Moll Dyer, the local witch legend in our county. Never tried it, but just sharing. That does sound interesting. Man, I'll have to look into that. Moll Dyer. Yeah. Let me see if that's something I can get up here. Throw a couple hot tamale candy pieces in that. Yeah. Maybe, like skewer them onto a stainless steel skewer. Use them like, kind of a nod to the olive, but instead of it being an olive, more like a couple of sausages on a spit. Tobacco Barn Distillery in Maryland, #1 farm distillery of handcrafted bourbon, whiskey, and rum. I like them already, Big Al. I like them already. Little round balls of salmon, stinging deliciousness. Salmon stinging? Okay. Aftershock isn't made anymore. It was a cinnamon liquor with rock candy. Oh, I think I remember that. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So again, it's like you always cinnamon candy, not salmon. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, voice to text, guys. It's just not there yet. So let's get to this. So the origin of cinnamon and how it's harvested, a comprehensive guide. Cinnamon is sweet and it's cinnamons and that take two. And welcome Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube and Fluff Chick production. Let's try it again. Cinnamon, exactly. Cinnamon is sweet and see, this isn't even speech to text. This is speech to speech. I can't even get right. always like the atomic fireball. I called them photon torpedoes just for fun. Yeah, were those those were the like little jawbreakers, and the picture on the wrapper was the guy going like this with an explosion coming out of his mouth. I think it was something like that. Is sweet and spicy flavor is a timeless favorite, and its history is just as rich as the taste it brings to your kitchen. I made it through the first sentence. Yay. Have you ever wondered where this beloved spice truly comes from? It originates from the inner bark of trees, mainly in the tropical regions of Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and India. But the journey doesn't end there. When it's time to harvest, skilled workers carefully peel the bark, which then dries and curls into the familiar cinnamon stick we know and love. This process is delicate, ensuring the spice retains its perfect aroma and flavor. At Raw Spice Bar, which of course is where this comes to us from, we believe in celebrating spices like cinnamon for the burst of flavor they bring to every dish. Whether you're making a cozy dessert or a flavorful curry or spicy blends, our spicy blends turn everyday meals into exciting culinary adventures or a tasty drink, adult beverage. Imagine adding fresh, high-quality cinnamon to your meals and feeling the difference in every bite. With our okay, so yeah, now we're going into an ad. Okay, so let's get to the historical significance. That's what you're really listening for. Cinnamon has played a crucial role in history with deep-rooted use and cultural importance in various civilizations. Its aromatic spice was valued as a luxury for its medicinal properties. We'll get to that in a bit. In ancient Egypt, cinnamon was a key player in embalming rituals. This spice was considered precious enough to be placed with pharaohs in their tombs. The Egyptians believed it had properties to preserve the dead, and indeed it did. If you think about it, if you think about the mummification process, without getting too into it, what you're looking to do is you're looking to draw the moisture away. That's really what mummification is. It's a drying process. Sometimes it happens accidentally and naturally, whether you're using limes or salts, but part of that can be cinnamon. Why cinnamon? Cinnamon is hydrophobic. It's why the whole cinnamon challenge, don't try this at home, kids, works the way it does. Just to aromatic spice, kind of like crop dusting. Yes, exactly. If you take a spoonful of cinnamon, just straight cinnamon powder, and tried to consume it, you could not. It would dry your mouth out instantly, and you'd have to work it in order to get it moist enough to attempt to swallow it. And unfortunately, what people were doing is, I don't know what kind of craziness, the sheer amount that they would put in. And what happens is they would choke on it because you can't swallow it. It gets stuck and you end up coughing it up and you have this plume of cinnamon. But then you try to take in a breath and you start inhaling this cinnamon you've coughed up, which then coats the interior of your bronchial tubes, again, drying it out and literally preventing you from being able to breathe. You can't get that respiration going if you've got something coating the inside of your lungs. At least if the mucus could mix with it, you could cough it up, but it doesn't. And there's cool tricks you could play with a pile of cinnamon on your table, and you drop a drip of water on it. Play around to your heart's content. It's not as expensive as it was in ancient Egypt. Cinnamon was a luxury item in ancient Rome and Greece. Romans often used it in perfumes and incense during religious ceremonies. They also honored it for its healing abilities, using it in traditional medicines and potions. Let's see. Nate says, freshly cracked pepper, herbs de Provence, oregano, garlic powder, chili powder, Old Bay salt, and ground breadcrumbs. Now you have my dry rub for barbecue. We'll have to pass on the black pepper for netter, but otherwise, let me look at it. Oregano, garlic powder, chili powder, Old Bay salt, and ground breadcrumbs. That sounds really good. I like the idea of ground breadcrumbs because you get a little bit of a crust on your meat. And what you could do is mix all that together with the breadcrumbs and then toast the breadcrumbs in a frying pan with a little bit of butter and then, pat it over your meat. That's, I suppose, what you would do if you want to coat it. If you really want the flavors of the spices to get into the meat, you should probably do it without the breadcrumbs first. Let it sit overnight, and then do what I said. So that basically you've got a crust with all the spices and the breadcrumbs on the outside, but all those flavors from the spices have gotten into the meat overnight. Just a thought. And now you got me thinking, should you use something to tenderize it overnight or not? I could see going either way with that. Anyway, we're getting off topic, aren't we? Across different cultures, let me bring this down so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Across different cultures, cinnamon was prized for more than just its flavor. In medieval times, it symbolized wealth and status in Europe due to its high value. Cinnamon was a popular gift among the nobility. Look, a lot of spices were used as currency. The reason being, they had to be imported. They tasted good. People wanted them. They made some otherwise inedible foods more palatable. Especially, if you boil all your meats, you need to replace that flavor with something, right? And if it's not grown locally, it has to be imported, right? So we could go into a whole history of the spice trade. Not to mention, then you had dealers literally trying to control the supply and demand. If the demand was high, they would control and minimize. No, we don't have that much. You're going to have to pay a lot more because it's very, very difficult to grow when they really have stockpiles back in Sri Lanka, right? But nowadays, our ability to cultivate these things, people are cultivating things all over the world in controlled environments, and we have, stocks of them. And I'm just talking about things that come from plants that need to be grown. Salt was invaluable, not just for flavor, but for preservation of foods. It was necessary for the preservation of foods in the days before you had refrigeration. So it was very, very valuable. You had to essentially mine it. But now that we know how to make it chemically, it's cheap. It is absolutely cheap, So, there you go. And most spices, there are still some that are pretty darn expensive. Saffron is a very, very expensive one. That, I don't know. That's the first one that comes to mind. There's a number of others. Some of these others, though, cheap. because, we have increased the supply enough that they're readily available. It was integral to spiritual ceremonies and local cuisines in Asia, particularly in Sri Lanka and India, where it was probably cheaper because that's where they grew it, right? Cinnamon became a key good as trade routes expanded, influencing economies and cultures globally. Cinnamon comes from the bark of the tree of the Cinnamomum genus. These trees grow in tropical climates and are found in regions like Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and Vietnam. I wonder if that's really what the war was about. It was all about cinnamon. Learn more about the spices and where they thrive globally. I'm actually surprised nobody has yet made a the spice must flow joke. I guess I just did. Spice companies would literally go to war over spices. Hundreds and thousands died over the rights to ship and sell spices. And again, it wasn't really about the spices. It's always about power and money, right? It could be gold, it could be diamonds, it could be influence. It's always about, the common man being schlepped off to other countries to fight and die for rich people's wallets. The cinnamon genus includes various species. Notable ones are Cinnamomum vermum and Cinnamomum cassia. Yes, I know that verum and cassia are two different kinds. Verum, I'm just going to call it that, right? Known as true cinnamon or Ceylon cinnamon, is prized for its mild flavor and sweet flavor. Cassia has a stronger, more intense taste. It is popular because it's cheaper and more accessible. These trees can reach about 300 to 50 feet tall. Their inner bark is harvested to create the spice we love. Okay. Cinnamon mainly grows in tropical regions. Sri Lanka leads in verum production, providing most of the world's supply. Indonesia and China dominate with cassia. Vietnam and Indonesia are also grow this spice. Humid climates with well-drained soil allow these trees to thrive. This distribution means cinnamon adds unique flavors to culinary traditions if you enjoy global spices. Look, even the same cassia grown in two different countries is going to taste different if you're really, really into it, right? I mean, it's kind of like grapes are grapes, right? Well, it also depends on where they're grown. So for the wine snobs. It's fascinating how subtle differences in conditions make diverse spice profiles possible. Understanding how cinnamon is cultivated can give you insight into the unique flavors and qualities. And I just realized I should probably save this till after we get through the promos. Let's get through those promos real quick. Let me get a few sips of my drink, and then we'll get back in just a moment. Stay right where you are. Just give me 2.5, 3 minutes if I can find my promos. Where are you, promos? There you are. Be right back.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together.
This week on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, a 2-night double feature. First, on Friday the 13th, still haunted by his past, Tommy Jarvis, who, as a child, killed Jason Voorhees, is sent to a secluded halfway house in the countryside, where the killing of a young man triggers a brutal series of murders in the area. It's Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. This Friday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Then, on Saturday the 14th, a family inherits an old mansion, which houses the dangerous Book of Evil, that has all the monsters of the world trapped inside it. It's the comedy classic Saturday the 14th, Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Last Call presents Doctor Who, the TARDIS arrives on Earth in the 13th century, where it is claimed by famed explorer Marco Polo as a gift for his employer, Kublai Khan. Polo hopes to finally buy his way out of the Khan's service, but if he succeeds, the Doctor and his friends will never be able to get back to their ship ever again. It's part one of the reconstruction of the missing media Doctor Who serial Marco Polo, this Sunday on Last Call presents Doctor Who.
Every Monday night is Members Night at the movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This week, the members will be watching the film that was just edged out of first place by one vote last week. A famous rock star falls in love with a psychologist who has never heard of him. It's Rick Springfield in his sizzling motion picture debut, Hard to Hold. Members, please join us Monday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks. We now return to our liquid lunch.
Where was it? Yeah, makes me think of this, but yeah, see, so I said it just probably as you were typing it, right? There you go. Fair enough. And just to be clear, that is tonight at 7 Central, 8 Eastern for Friday the 13th, Part 5 on Big Al's channel. I mean, this Friday is today, right? Yeah, I know. I probably should have updated that particular promo. Got a little lazy. Actually, I don't know if you call it lazy. I was working on something else last night. Anyway, let's get back to the share screen. There we go. So the cultivating practice. Understanding how cinnamon is cultivated can give you insight to its unique flavors and qualities. The growth conditions and farming techniques used are vital to the production of high-quality cinnamon. Cinnamon trees thrive in tropical climates, typically in regions like Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and India. Growing well requires rich, well-drained soil and a warm, humid environment. These trees are usually planted during the rainy season to ensure adequate water supply. The cinnamon tree loves sunlight, but partial shade can protect young plants. While the plants tolerate some drought, regular watering ensures better yield. Fertilizers rich in potassium and nitrogen help foster robust growth, enhancing the bark's aromatic qualities. The cultivation of cinnamon involves carefully monitored techniques. Cinnamon farming typically begins with planting seeds or cuttings. After about 2 years, the trees reach maturity and are ready for the first harvest. Farmers cut back the stems close to the ground to ensure new shoots to grow, promoting sustainable harvesting. The inner bark is peeled. See, I did not know this. And okay, my ignorance. Okay. You think about the bark of a tree and you're like, are they literally stripping bark off of trees? You know, and if that's the case, does this not kill the tree? If you strip the bark off of a tree in a circle all the way around, it's called girdling the tree, and it will ultimately kill the tree. What happens is the water and minerals are able to flow up from the leaves inside of the trunk of the tree, but it never flows back. The sugars and stuff that are made in the leaves never flow back down to the roots, because that outer part of the bark, which is, and I forget which one is the xylem and which one is the phloem. There are two different, the inner and the outer tubes. And it's the difference between like the veins and the arteries, right? If every vein in your body was snipped, you die almost instantly. Same is true the other way around. If it was every capillary or every artery was cut, you'd die almost instantly. It takes longer for trees, but what would ultimately happen is the top of the tree above where you girded it would continue to grow, and the bottom portion where the roots are would slowly die, and then eventually the thing would just fall over because the bottom, the roots and the core would rot. So what they're actually saying is, no, they grow a tree to a certain length and then they cut it off and start a new one growing, and so they are kind of killing the tree, but they're just like the lumber industry. They're constantly cutting down, replanting, Okay, I'll check it out right after the stream. Thank you for your diligence. I super appreciate it. I know how frustrating it can be. Farmers cut back the stem close to the ground to encourage new shoots to grow, promoting sustainable harvesting. The inner bark is peeled off and rolled into sticks, which are then dried. This process is done with precision to retain maximum oils and flavor. Harvesting is usually done during the rainy season when the bark is most pliable. Using skilled labor ensures the bark is removed without harming the tree, allowing for continuous regrowth and harvest in the future. So I guess I'm not really clear about how they're doing it. Maybe there's a video on YouTube you guys can look up and see how cinnamon is harvested. Sounds like it would be very, very interesting. It does get into the harvesting techniques. It talks about the post-harvesting process. So if I were to dig into it more, we could really, I'm not particularly interested in the economics. And right now, my only concern about use and application is in my drink for tonight. But I did want to, and I don't care about sustainability. That's your business. If you want to keep your business going, you need it to be sustainable. I don't see this as an environmental, political kind of thing. Frequently asked questions, though. Let's get into it. How is cinnamon harvested from the cinnamon tree? We kind of already talked about that. Skilled labor. What is the primary regions? We've talked about this a couple of times. I don't know why I skipped to this. We've already covered it all. What is the different type of cinnamon and how do they vary? I thought there was something about the health benefits. Medicinal properties. Cinnamon isn't just loved for its taste and boasts medical benefits. It has been traditionally used to aid digestion and support immune system. Studies suggest it might help regulate blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation. Yeah, as a matter of fact, my doctor has told me I should really be getting a lot of flaxseed and cinnamon in my diet. So a great way to do that, and I really should be doing this more, would be oatmeal. A packet of cinnamon oatmeal with I put about 50% the amount. So if it's 2 ounces of oatmeal mix, I'll put an ounce of flaxseed, and then just a freaking ton of cinnamon, not cinnamon sugar, straight cinnamon. When I make my oatmeal, it's brown with cinnamon, and it's, I love it. I love it. Hey, Troy, I was thinking, what's my barbecue rub? What if we replace the black pepper with cinnamon? Give it a try. Let me know how it works. That sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. Troy drunk yet? Nope, but it's a long day ahead of me, my friend. Welcome, Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf. Make sure everyone is subscribed to Charlotte. Check out her videos. Look at her playlists and just kind of play them in the background for your daily music. She could definitely use the support in that regard. And she makes great music. So there you go. But what I was going to say about that, regulating blood sugar, if you are eating something that's got a lot of cinnamon in it, just like I was talking about with that whole stupid cinnamon challenge and the preservation of bodies and how it's hydrocephalic, look, if you take in a bunch of cinnamon, this isn't going to work with alcohol because it's mixed in the drink. But for the most part, it's going to slightly impede absorption. So you might not be getting as much sugar with whatever it is you're eating. You know, if I had sugar in my oatmeal, for example, maybe a little less intake of that cinnamon. Not entirely certain how it impacts inflammation, but I'm going to have to thank you for dropping that link, Charlotte. It makes perfect sense that you did that. But yeah, especially as we're getting older, Mark, I'm looking at you, you know, the joints, you might want to get some cinnamon in your diet. Welcome, CK, the longest running superhero RPG on Earth. It's always good to see you, my friend. Herbal remedies often include cinnamon to soothe colds and coughs. Remember, always consult your healthcare professional for medical advice. But, of course, these kinds of herbal remedies, for the most part, generally don't hurt. They don't have the kinds of side effects that drugs do. You know, the question is, though, if you're using an herbal remedy, when you should be, seeking something a little bit more direct, something a little bit more cause directed. But I could see where if you have a particularly raspy cough, cinnamon drops might really help with that. Might help dry that up, unless the doctor is recommending an expectorant. An expectorant allows you to get it out, and cinnamon would more dry it up. This is sounding kind of gross, but that's the topic we picked, I suppose. But there you go. So that is the drink for tonight. It's a cinnamon world tonight. Marshmallow world? I don't know. Whatever. But mallow. We were talking about mallow in connection with okra the other day. That's one that'll make you feel phlegmy from eating it. So that is just the opposite. If you are having a dry cough, particularly dry, maybe pop a few marshmallows or have some okra. That would help. Just a suggestion. But cinnamon and alcohol, let me tell you, as far as medicinal, if you have a lot of congestion, you need to be dried up, those are two things that will work: cinnamon and alcohol. Both. They go hand in hand in that regard. Let me go back to the main stage and pull up this comment here. When I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, they told me to eat more salmon and drink cranberry juice. I do it a lot, and I am still alive. Not sure if it was ingesting that stuff or not. Well, salmon. First, it's a protein, right? You always need protein for healing, building tissues, building muscles, building just about everything in the body. But those omega fatty acids are crucial for the nervous system and the brain. So yeah, I totally understand the salmon. Cranberry juice. I don't know if there's anything specifically about cranberry juice. I know that I've heard a lot of people say cranberry juice if you've been suffering with uh, uh, what do you call it? Stones, kidney stones. Um, but honestly, when it gets right down to it, that's just a question of hydration, which is why I'm always talking about hydration at the end of my stream. And cranberry juice will hydrate you. I don't know if it's the best way to hydrate, but it's a way. It's a lower sugar if it's true straight cranberry juice and not a cranberry juice cocktail, which means it's grape juice or blueberry juice or raspberry juice flavored with cranberry. And then it's got a lot of sugar in it. But if you get straight cranberry, you've got yourself a mostly water flavored with cranberry drink. So that's definitely hydrating. So hey, if cinnamon is good for inflammation, maybe figure out a way to work some cinnamon into your diet in a big way right now, Nate, and see if that doesn't help. Try that cinnamon flaxseed oatmeal that I suggested. Give it a try. That's why cough syrups used to have alcohol in them. Yes, and they were healthier when they had alcohol in them. They switched to codeine. Codeine. Stay away from codeine. Yeah. I miss cinnamon rolls. Just too much sugar. Yeah. What is the Cinnabon? Remember Cinnabon? I haven't had a Cinnabon in years. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to learn how to make those. I need to buy Torani syrup and start making cinnamon cola again. That sounds good. Give it a shot. Can't hurt. Especially if you like cinnamon. The worst that happens, it does nothing and you enjoy it. Pseudoephedrine. Well, let's just put it this way. Codeine and pseudoephedrine okay, so codeine is related to all the morphine derived drugs, right? All the painkiller type drugs, the sleepy time drugs, right? That's why they say give the baby cough syrup so that it goes to sleep. You're basically, giving it morphine. You're basically giving them heroin, right? That's what codeine is. Whereas pseudoephedrine is speed. That's why that was taken off the market. It's the exact opposite. It's like cocaine. I know, right? I need to learn how to make that frosting that they use. I've tried it a couple times and I've screwed it up, so I got to give it another shot. I love cola with cinnamon or chocolate or sometimes vanilla. Vanilla also pairs great with a lemon lime soda. I would agree with you. And one of these days, I will probably do a Friday stream about cherry Coke. Real cherry Coke. And I have strong opinions about the right way to make a cherry Coke. We'll talk about that in a future stream. Probably on a day when I'm getting ready to release the Kraken, because that would go very well with my cherry Coke. Drugs. I thought this was an alcohol stream. It is. Go back and watch from the beginning and you will see how we ended up getting here. But we were talking about cinnamon. Cinnamon, which will be in my Fireball drink tonight, and how it is used medicinally, and how I said how these herbal cures, how some of them work, and how some of them, at the very worst, do nothing, but they don't have the kinds of side effects that certain drugs do. And then we were talking about certain drugs that the pharmaceutical companies have been putting into things so they can charge you for them, rather than tried and true real herbal medicines. So that's my high horse for today. I'm going to start wrapping this up because I don't want to run long. I need to chauffeur you all over to Corey's for Wilkie's Movies and Music's Friday stream. Then after that, finish up your work day, have yourself some dinner, and then get over to Big Al Presents for Friday the 13th, Part 5. And from there, he'll kick you over to Last Call tonight at 9, where we will be talking the wins and the losses of the culture war. So there you go. So, my friends, I want to thank you all so much for coming and having a fireball with me today. It'll be a fireball sour. You take care of yourselves. Hydrate, right? Hail hydration. Be healthy as you can. Drink responsibly. I'll see you later tonight. Take care, my friends. Salute.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.